Hello everyone, I'm Kajal and today we are going to discuss the next chapter for the 9th class students. So today we are going to discuss your chapter number 13th, the skin, the jack of all trades. Now what do you mean by the jack of all trades? Means it is for all kind of workings in your body. The skin is the outer part of your body and that is the largest organ of your body. The skin is protecting your body from the external injuries, as well as it is a kind of cover on your body. It protects the internal organs as well as some exchange of gases also it is responsible, and sometimes sweat is also coming out from the skin because the pores are present over there. So we will discuss about the skin, what kind of things are present, how it behaves, how it performs the functions. We will discuss all those things in this chapter. So let us begin. Firstly, the skin, the jack of all trades. Skin, the jack of all trades. What is the need of the skin, and what do you mean by skin? Skin is the outer cover of your body that is giving protection to the whole organs, internal organs of your body, as well as it is responsible to expel out some kind of waste from your body and is protecting your body from the bacteria, from the other mechanical shocks. Next, functions of the skin. First function I already explained you, protection. It is protecting our body from the external injuries, from the mechanical shocks, from the action of the bacteria. Next one, it is protecting our body from the mechanical shock. Third one, it is responsible for to prevent the excessive loss of water, because from the skin part only water is coming out in the form of sweat. Okay, few amount of water is coming, some amount of water is coming, but it is restricting the more amount of water to come out from our body. Skin is also responsible to regulate the body temperature, because whenever our body is hot, then automatically in the form of water, in the form of sweat, the water and the other minerals are coming out of our body and it gives the coolness to our body. So it is responsible to regulate the body temperature. It also prevents the entry of some kind of germs and the bacteria in our body. So this is the functions of the skin that is performing in our body. Next, it is responsible for the sensation. Whenever something hit you, as well as you are touching hot pan, cold and the other sensation you are getting from the skin part only. Temperature regulation, as I told you about it, that it is responsible to regulate the temperature, because whenever our body is hot, then automatically in the form of sweat the water evaporates from our body, other minerals are also evaporating, and it is responsible to give some coolness to our body. Next, storage of the food. Skin, in the skin, the cell number of type of cells are present, as well as adipose cells and the tissues are present that are responsible to store the fats and the storage of the food. Excretion processes, it is responsible to send out the waste, expel out the waste from our body. That process is known as excretion. Excretion means to expel out the waste from the body. Waste generation is there in our body, several kind of waste is generating, nitrogenous waste as well as the other products or the waste from the food is also generating. So skin is responsible to expel it out. Next, synthesis of vitamin D. Vitamin D is present in our body, and you may have heard that whenever you are going out in the sunlight, then sunlight is responsible to synthesize, to break down the vitamin D that is present there. So skin acts a good actor, as well as it is responsible to synthesize that vitamin D in your skin part. Grip. Skin, you know, the hands and the palm hands of our skin, okay, as well as the palms. With the help of palms we are able to grip the thing, we are able to hold the thing. The skin is arranged like in that way so that we can hold the thing properly, as well as we can hold it tightly. So for the grip also the skin is responsible. Structure of the skin, let us discuss. The principal components of the skin are, first is skin proper and the second one is derivatives of the skin. So there are the two type. First is skin proper and the second one is known as the derivatives of skin. Derivatives of skin. Skin proper. Skin proper consists of two subparts. First is epidermis, and the second one is dermis layer. Epidermis and dermis layer. Epidermis is the outer layer and dermis is the inner one layer next to the epidermis. Epidermis consists of three subparts: cornified, granular and germinative. As well as the vessels, nerves, etc. are present in the epidermis layer. In the dermis layer, after the germinative layer, that is present in the epidermis part, and vessels, nerves and the elastic fibers are present in the dermis layer of the skin. Elastic fibers, blood vessels and nerves are present in the dermis layer. Means in the outer part of the skin, outer layer of the skin, that is dividing into three parts, and it is consists of three subparts: cornified layer, granular layer and germinative layer. And if we talk about the inner part of the skin, that consists of the blood vessels, nerves and elastic fibers are present in the dermis layer. Derivatives of the skin, there are several derivatives. For example, hair, nails, mammary glands, sweat glands, sebaceous glands. So these are known as the derivatives of the skin. Firstly, we are going to discuss about the skin proper. First part is known as the epidermis layer. Epidermis is the outer thinner part of the skin, outer thinnermost layer of the skin, and it is formed of the stratified epithelium piled up of the layer after layer. Stratified layers are present and that are piled up. I give you one example, that suppose that you have got a scratch on your skin part. In that way, what is happening, which part of your skin is affected in that scratch, in that sense, in that state, your outermost means epidermis layer is totally affected, and you may have observed that the whitish content is coming out from your skin instead of blood, because that is the outermost part, epidermis part is totally affected in that way. So that's why it is happening. And at the places of epidermis becomes thick and hard on the palms, soles and especially on the heels. That if you feel that instead of your other body parts, that parts are little harder. And the epidermis shows three regions depth wise: outermost cornified, middle granular and inner malficium. It also consists of the three subparts, epidermis, cornified, middle granular, and the last one is the germinative or inner malficium. Cornified layer or stratum corneum, this is known as stratum corneum as well as the cornified layer. It is the outermost layer of the epidermis, as well as it is having the flattened dead cells in that. So outermost cornified layer is consist of the dead cells only, and these cells made of the fibrous structural protein that is known as the keratin. Keratin is found in the nails, hair, horn, hooves and even the silk also. So this part, cornified layer, consists of the keratin. Its cells are continuously worn away and shed are replaced with the beneath. Means easily these shells are worn out and replaced by the new shells. So this is the cornified layer. Cornified layer consists of the dead cells as well as it is consist of the keratin, and its cells are easily worn out and replaced by the new cells. It is giving the protection of our body from the mechanical injuries as well as from the bacterial actions. Next one is the granular layer. Granular layer is very thin and the middle layer. It is having 2 or 3 sub layers, and generally it gives way to outermost cornified layer. Whenever any injury is there, means any cut part or scratch is there in the outermost part in the cornified layer, then that is replaced by the granular layer easily. Last one is the Malpighian layer, and it is also known as germinative layer. Why it is known as germinative layer? Because it cell can actively divide to produce the new cells. So here is the production of the new cells takes place, so that's why it is known as the germinative layer. Okay, and these cells, whenever any cut is there, any injury is there in the conified layer, then these cells are replaced by that, and they are again forming the skin part, outer skin. Okay, so by that way the skin part is healed, and by that way the germinative layer works. Next one is that the coloration of the skin is totally dependent on the pigment, melanin pigment. The melanin pigment is present in the skin, and that is responsible for the coloration of the skin, whether that is a black or a blue, black or brown or even the whitish. Foreigners having a white skin, if we talk about the African person, they are having the black skin, and the Indians having a moderate skin. That is totally dependent on the presence of the melanin pigment. Next one, we are going to discuss about the abnormal conditions of the skin pigmentation. But before that, I want to show you a model of a skin. Here you can see that this is the skin model. Your skin part is like this. Okay, outermost part is known as the epidermal layer. It is also consists of the three sub layers, three subparts we have discussed: conified layer, granular layer, and germinative layer. And the inner one is known as the dermis part. This dermis part consists of your hair shafts, okay, as well as the nerves are present there, blood vessels are present there, so that are consist in the dermis layer only. So this is the structure of your skin part, human skin. It consists of the several kind of glands, to sweat gland, sebaceous gland, all the glands that are present in the dermis layer, okay, lie in the dermis layer. Next one, we are going to discuss about the few two abnormal conditions of the skin pigmentation. As I told you, skin pigmentation is due to the presence of the melanin pigment only. So now the abnormal conditions, there are two abnormalities, abnormal conditions. First is known as the leukoderma, and the second one is known as the albinism. Now, what do you mean by leukoderma and what do you mean by albinism? Leukoderma is a abnormal state whenever there is the loss of skin pigmentation, means the melanin pigment is lost from few parts of the body, and there are the patches appear on the skin. Okay, whitish patches appear on the skin. Why it happened, that is not known yet, means that is discovering, scientists are discovering the cause of that. But you may have seen that some persons are losing their skin pigmentation from the few parts of their body, that is known as the leukoderma. Next is known as albinism. Albinism is the complete loss of the skin pigmentation, means in the person's body there is a complete loss of a melanin pigment, and due to this one, the color of the eyes as well as the eyelids, eyelashes, and the hair, skin part of the person, that is, there is the complete loss of the skin pigmentation. Their skin will be reddish due to the nerves, as well as that disease or that abnormality is the inherited. They are getting this disorder from their parents, and the parents are known as albino parents, and the children are known as the albino children. So this is these are the two abnormal conditions of the skin part. First is leukoderma, and second one is the albinism. Next we are going to discuss about the dermis layer. Dermis layer is present just next to the epidermis layer. Epidermis is the outer part, and dermis layer is the inner part of the skin. Dermis layer is the inner thick layer or the connective tissue made of the elastic fibers. It is tough and evenly flexible too. So flexibility of the of our skin is getting by the dermis layer only, and at the certain place the dermis in our skin is very thick. that is again on the soles and in the palms of our skin, and very thin on the other parts, for example eyelids, okay, as well as in the eyelids. And dermis contains several other structures, blood cells, blood vessels, nerve fibers, sensory organs. These are present in the dermis layer of the skin only. And how we are getting or how we are obtaining the leather we are getting from the dermis layer of the animals only. The leather by which we are making the leather bags as well as the belts, shoes, that leather we are using the dermis part of the animal skin. Next, the outer region of the dermis, which lies next to the epidermis, is raised into the numerous small processes known as the papillae. Here in the after the dermis layer, after the epidermis layer, the dermis layer is present, and in the dermis layer the several papillae are present, and these papillae are connected with the capillaries and nerve endings that and also sense organs are present there. That is why we are getting the sense of pain as well as pressure, heat, other things or other sensation we are getting, because that these are connected with the nerve fibers. Next thing, the fingertips are more sensible of our body. That's why the children those are blind, they are using their fingertips, because fingertips are more sensitive, and by the fingertips they are able to read the braille characters. So they are using their fingertips to read the braille characters. These are some senses receptors in the deep parts, and they are concerned with the sensations like cold, okay, warm, pressure, etc. we are getting from that, because they are getting the sensory organs in that. Next, derivatives of the skin. So before starting about the derivatives of the skin, I want to wind up my topic up to here. We will discuss about the derivatives of the skin in the next video. So hope you understood my video as well as you liked it. Thank you very much.